Akwaba. Welcome all of you. Welcome my sweethearts. Welcome to the Narrator Show with Esaaba Haizel. Nana ba ahu fe. So me kente nana ba ahu fe. Oh yeah, mama on hold. O Sunday no kwar. Mo yeso. Papa. Today is Saturday. It's 4:20, and I am here bringing the Narrator Show on your way. E-Levy and the market women. Give me a minute. Now don't you need the woman, bro? E-Levy and market women. Give me a moment. And I'm going to give you your likable, always ready with knowledge available guest, Hannah Fori from the United Kingdom. E-Levy, electronic levy, and markets women. Welcome today to this edition of the Narrator Show with Esaaba Haizel. Nananaba Ahunwafe. Thank you for coming. When you come on the show, please go ahead and do good like you always do and share this video, share the show to your friends on the other platforms and tell them that Nananeba Ahunwafe is here with the Narrator Show. And this is Esaaba Haizel. Thank you so much for coming. I miss you so much. It's been a little while, but you know, Esaaba Haizel is a very busy person. I know many of you understand. So sometime, if you don't get a lot of the Narrator Show, don't you worry, because we would always be available for you. The Narrator Show with Esaaba Haizel. Nananeba Ahunwafe. Today we are going to talk about electronic levy, which we call E-Levy, and the market women. What is Ghana talking about? Talking of E-Levy, and what are the market women talking about? Let us dive into situations that led to the passing of the E-Levy. Let us also know what the mass of the people in Ghana are talking about concerning the electronic levy, which is in short called the E-Levy. Thank you very much for coming. We are going to educate ourselves and we are going to learn a lot today. I will be bringing in my guests and offer very soon. And for the meantime, Nadoye Humabro by Esaaba Haizel. Thank you so much. When you come on the show, please share the show to other people. I trust you and I believe you. We're gonna go very straight shot into the show today. I am going ahead to bring my guest for the day, Hannah Ofori. Hannah Ofori. Yes, and so Hannah Ofori will be here any moment from now, and we will be on the go with E-Levy and market women. E-Levy and market women. That is what we are talking about today. Electronic levy and market women. Thank you so much for coming. I've missed you. Have you missed me? Yeah, I know a lot of you missed me. Almost everybody missed. Everybody missed Nananeba Ahunwafe. Of course. If you won't miss me, who are you going to miss? It is the era of Nananeba Ahunwafe, Esaaba Haizel. Electronic levy. Ghana just passed the I've been not gonna do. Thank you for joining. Please share the show to other platforms. Yes, and let us dive into what electronic levy actually is. Hannah Fori will be here in a moment. Ekua Jackson, thank you so much for coming. Share the show to other platforms and tell them that the Nananaban Warfare is Esaaba Haizel is here with the Narrator Show. You are sweet and I love you so much. Share the show to others and let us talk about E-Levy and market women. Thank you so much. What can't you do? You do all. You just do all. Electronic levy and market women. Let us begin. Since we have a sizable number of people here, let us talk of E-Levy. What is actually E-Levy? Let me lower the music a little bit. Electronic levy, which is called E-Levy. On November 17th, 2021, Ghana's Finance Minister Kenneth Oriacha announced the government's plan to introduce an electronic transaction levy, which is E-Levy, during its 2022 budget statement reading. He mentioned that the move was necessary to widen the tax net, which would increase the country's tax to GDP rate from 13% to 16%. So with all this E-Levy coming up, it is just to actually read the it's actually to increase the GDP rate by three digits. Just three single digits, not even a double digit, single digits. Okay, let's move on. And then the proposed E-Levy, which came into effect on February 11, 2022, imposed a 1.75. People are saying 1.50, others are saying 1.75. So I need you to type in the comment section. You know we do so well reading all your comments. Let me know what the actual levy rate is. Is it 1.75 or is it 1.50? Let me know, please. And it says 1.75% tax on the value of, I'm reading from African Liberty. It's a website called African Liberty. So this credit goes to them. And it says to the value of daily electronic transactions above 100 cedis. So it is a daily. It is a daily. It means if you send 200 cedis to your friend in Tamale, excuse me, when your friend is going to take the 200 cedis, they're going to tax your friend at a levy rate of 1.75. And the next day, if your friend also transacts or sends out of the 200, 150 to another person, they are going to take another E-Levy on that same 200 which was originally sent by the person yesterday. This is crazy, isn't it? Okay, so now let us move on. Papa Kobina Bafo, Roxanne, how are you, sweetheart? And so the new charge covers mobile money, which Ghanaians call mobile money. This is another one. When you can, please share the show because I am flushing right here. Seeing all of you here, thank you. Obapa Chirwa, thank you, sweetheart. Share the video and share the show to other people and tell them that the Narrator Show is on. I tell them, I say, I miss them. So they should come and watch the Nanaba Warfare. Yeah, so the merchant transaction, bank transaction, and what I don't understand is the bank transaction. Why? Bank transaction to you? Because the banks already take charges for you keeping your money there. So if there's going to also be an E-Levy on bank transaction, it means you are double taxing the people. Let us move forward. So he says that daily transaction above 100. This new chart covers mobile money, which is Momo, merchant transactions, bank transfers, all point of sales and inward remittances. So when I was initially talking of inward remittances, it's when somebody sends some money from WA to somebody in Tamale, and the money is taxed 1.75 on E-Levy. And the next day, when the same money which was sent previously is also sent to another person, another E-Levy is taxed on that same little money which was sent yesterday. And it's going to be it's a daily tax transaction. So an inward remittances, but contrary to the government's motive and positive prediction, the E-Levy imposing would would slow down the development of e-commerce in Ghana. So electronic commerce, like going everything maybe online, everything, people don't have to carry so much money on them. Those days when market women went for trade, and they were coming on this Bedford and these big trucks, and they have the money, they put it around their waist, and then when they have armed robbers stop the car, transact and then hijack it, they took all the money away from them. So with the introduction of this electronic transaction platforms like the mobile money Momo, it has become very convenient for these market women. Comfort Esaaba Haizel, thank you. That's my mom. It has become, and then Kofi, thank you. Jonas, Papo, Alote, Anna, thank you for coming. When you come, please do well to share this show to other people. So these market women choose to put the money around their waist. They call it aboso. And when people hijack the Bedford or the truck they are traveling on, what they do is that they took all the monies away. So imagine if you had gone to take a loan from the bank and now they took the money away. What are you going to do? The bank comes to take whatever you use as collateral. Maybe you use your home as collateral. Maybe you use your car as collateral. It was a very difficult moment, and it raised the level of armed robbery in the country. So the introduction of E-Levy was a savior to Ghanaian traders, especially these old women who go on long distances to bring the food crops from the villages to us in the cities, so they will not get rotten. So those in the cities may also be able to feed. Now they made it very, very hard for these people, because anytime a trader would transact an amount of 2,000 to the person who give the goods to her, 1.75% of E-Levy is going to be deducted. And when the trader, the one who also does the production, also the one who did the supply, yes, also transact the money to the farmer she got the items from, another E-Levy. The fact is that there is no clear indication of which money E-Levy is taxed on. E-Levy is taxed on every single money you send above 100 cedis, irrespective of the source of the money. If the money comes from one person and then one person sends to Ekua, and Ekua sends some of that money, part of that money to Ya, and Ya sends part of that money to Efua, it is the same money that was sent to Ekua, but E-Levy is taxed on that same money as long as it is being transferred from one person to the other from day to day. This is what we are talking about. James Pakpo Alote Annan says, sweetie, it's the same way with the cash app we use in America here. Yes, sweetheart, it's the same way as the cash app we use in America here. But in the United States, we have a lot of ways and means of using the cash app. And please don't also forget that the cash app, if I send you money, Jonas, if I sent you money yesterday and you decide to take the money on Tuesday, you don't pay any fee. Remember? You don't pay any fee because you don't get the money immediately. You choose to get it in the standard working days, and that you don't get any fee unless you decide to take the money from your account immediately. That is when the cash app fee is allocated on you. But we don't have such conditions for E-Levy. There is nothing like you don't have to pay something because the money is, if there is any allocation for that, then people will just wait. They will not take the money that they received immediately. They will wait until the 2-3 business standard days so that the money will be given. Hannah, where are you? So that the money will be given unto them. But the fact is that, Hannah, come now. The fact is, you were asking for a request. I will pick you when Anna comes. Car and God, I knew you were going to come. How is my sweet angel? Because you seem to be very interested in this topic yesterday. Thank you for joining. Now, oh, Hannah, you look beautiful. How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah, I missed you, sir. I've been looking for you. Please, where have you been? Don't do this to the Nana Banwofe. If you do that, may I move.
I don't.
Okay, so Hannah, this is where we were. Alote says it is the same way with Cash App we use in the United States. But I told Alote that with the Cash App, they will say, when I send you money on Monday and you want the money immediately on Monday, that is when you pay money. You pay a fee on the Cash App. But if I send you money on Monday and you say, I want to allow the regular transaction period to take this money, then you take the money on Thursday. You pay nothing. And Alote knows what I'm talking about. Yes. So in Ghana, with the E-Levy, we don't have such condition. If you send it and you want to wait and take it on Thursday, so you don't pay anything, there is nothing like that. Even if you wait for 2 weeks, you are still going to pay. But my case is, if you send me a 2,000 Ghana cedis, and then I have to, you are a wholesaler, you bought the goods from the farmer, you brought the goods to a Samankese market, a market woman from Accra and Tema, they go to a Samankese to buy the goods. So they'll also bring it to Accra and Tema and sell to the people, for the city people to also have food to eat. Because the food is not produced in Accra, it is produced in the villages. Now, when I come to you in Accra to do purchase, and I make a purchase of 250 Ghana cedis, and I said, now I want to pay you using Momo, and you said, okay, no problem, and I pay you. You that is receiving the money as a market woman, you are going to pay an E-Levy of. I told you before that you should give me the exact amount. Is it 175 or 150? Is it 1.75 levy or 1.50? Because it's really kind of confusing. With the information I have from African Liberty that I just read, they said it is 1.75. But if anybody knows it is 1.50, please type it for me. I was telling Alote Anand that if people do, the market woman is now going to pay a levy. Imagine I'm selling a tomato and onion and pepper to you, and you come to buy and you pay me, and I'm paying 1.75 out of the money you paid to me. And this market woman is going to send those money to the lady, the market woman in Samankese. Going to send 2,000 cedis to the woman who sold the goods to the market woman in the Samankese. And out of this 2,000, remember, it was the 250 one trader gave you. It was 50 cedis one trader gave you. It was 30 cedis one trader gave you. It was 110 cedis one trader gave you. Which you have paid E-Levy on all of these monies. Round. Together, you made a 2,000. And you send it 2,000 to the woman in the Samankese, the farmer who did the production, the woman who take the good from the farmer, and you pay another 1.75 on the 2,000 you have gathered out of the little bit of the money you have paid E-Levy on all of them already. Am I making sense?
You are.
And you pay another E-Levy on that 2,000. With people not knowing, or with the government not knowing that 2,000 is not some money sitting in some corner, but it is the money you have gathered by paying E-Levy on all the transactions you have made already. So you send this 2,000 to the Samankese woman who gave you the goods in bulk, and the woman also has to pay the farmer and send. So you to send 2,000 to the woman, and another trader from Accra send 1,000 to the woman. Another trader from Accra send 1,005 to the woman. So this woman has 2,000 plus 1,000, 3,000 plus 1,005, 4,500 from 3 traders, and she in turn is going to pay the farmer. Guess what? The little monies you have paid E-Levy on, making up the 2,000, and making up the 1,000, and making up the 1,005, of which you received, you have not paid E-Levy again on the 2,000, and you have paid on the 1,000, and you have paid on the 1,005. But guess what? It does not end there. You send this money as payment to the farmer, and the farmer pays E-Levy
Again.
on the 4,500. We don't do that in the United States.
No.
We don't do that in Europe and UK, which is well developed. That these people have money.
Yeah.
People don't have jobs. They intend to work with Momo. And now everybody is getting ready to remove their monies. Meanwhile, you said digitalization. You said e-commerce. How can that person who has this kiosk and then just does E-Levy be able to afford the rent and food? And Ghana is not like United States and United Kingdom and Europe where you pay month to month. You pay a whole 2 years. And even the government is trying to say just take 6 months advance. And these tenants and landlords, they don't care. So how do you expect me to put all these resources together if I have a 2,000 and by the time the 2,000 get to destination, I have paid 6 times of E-Levy on the same 2,000?
See.
And let me get to the I would say implementing, I'm reading from African Liberty. Implementing the E-Levy would equally result in the loss of jobs in the e-commerce and fintech industries due to a reduction in online sales. In Uganda, for example, the imposition of the 1%, that is just 1%, and not 1.75. That is almost double. The implementation of 1.01% tax on Momo transactions led to a drastic reduction in its usage by 24%. 24% for 1%, and then we have 1.75 for 24%. And then it says, and the value of peer-to-peer transactions fell by more than 50%. So right now, if I have some money to give you, I ain't going to E-Levy to Momo it. I'm going to travel from Accra to Kutampo to give the money. Does that make sense? And the armed robbers are always, now it's going to increase the rate of robbery. Because before you came in, I was talking of gone are the days when our grandparents
were tying their monies around their waist, covering it.
Exactly what I was going to say. They were tying the money around their waist, and then they were in the Bedford, and then they would be hijacked by armed robbers, and they would take all the money. Some of this money were loans. Loans where their cocoa farms were collateral. Loans where their houses were collateral. Loans that their husbands' bank statements were collateral. We're going to go back to this old age where people are going to pay debts with their children. Because there are no jobs in the country. If there are jobs in the country and things are going well and you are charging extra taxes, people don't mind paying. It is the taxes that people use. But remember, this E-Levy thing, it's not like somebody's cash that the person, a capital that you are using, getting taxes on. This is just transaction people are making over the phone. And then in the United States, it is up to you to do cash up. It's not everybody do that. People don't even do cash up. And the market women are really suffering. They are talking. They are angry. They have said a lot. I can't say all. I will leave the floor to you. E-Levy and market women. Sister Hannah, what is your take?
Oh, it's thank you so much. And I don't know what to say. It's pathetic because look, the tremor they were going through before this money transfer came in, actually took a big stress off their heads because we're no longer going to carry money everywhere they went.
Yes.
Where you don't even trust, even if armed robbers do not attack them, they don't even trust. Sometimes they spend 3 days, 2 weeks on the road, traveling from one town to another. So it's like they don't even trust those they are traveling with. They don't trust because you sleep and then you realize that your money is gone where an armed robber is. So it's not everybody that is close to you that you can trust. It's not every stranger that you can trust. So
Yes.
putting the armed robbery aside, they can't trust
Na
themselves.
Aikale na no bar. Thank you for joining us. Isana Evelyn Efia Boatma, thank you for joining us. Mami Esekomse, thank you for joining us. Kobna Poku, thank you for joining us. And all those who have joined us, no, I can't take anyone for now. We don't have much time. We only have 15 more minutes. So I'm sorry, the
Because
one who coming.
these monies are the same money that they were using to pay the fees of their kids. These monies are the same money
Yes.
they are using to pay their rent. These monies are the same money that they are using to and make ends meet. But now they took the risk of carrying this money wherever they went. And then once
Yes.
upon a time, this transfer Momo came in, money transfer came in, through mobile money came in, money transfer through the bank also came in. And then as technology was growing up, was spreading and spreading and spreading, things became so easy. So I think they have come to a stage where they are so happy about how things are going. Then all of a sudden, boom, they realize that this E-Levy thing has come. So they actually, people are now going to carry their monies again around their waist again. And then
haven't we gone past the era where people
it's even going to be worse, because if we are not careful, we will be going back to the barter trade system, where nobody would not even request for money again. They would want to exchange goods for goods. I've got
but that cannot happen.
Yeah, they don't, if they don't want to pay anything. So what are we using? We do business, right?
Yeah, you're right.
I'm selling corn to get money to go and buy rice. So if you would levy me, then why not carry my rice on my head and look for somebody who is looking for my rice, and then I'll get somebody. I'm also looking for the person who has corn to also give me. We do that barter trade system. We exchange goods for goods, and then there will be no tax anywhere. Because
Hey,
look,
now,
can
someone
we?
to see you. Evelyn Hazel says awesome. Thank you, Evelyn, for joining us. As someone can be to see you. We're going to no, that is BAD
Yeah,
before
if
Christ.
it's
Charity, Stayeni, thank you for joining us. This is like before Christ.
It's not you know what? You know, this market, the way you have understood it and you have read about it, it's not all of them that are so educated to go and read and then to understand to support the government too. So they will go according to their literal understanding. And by thinking that if I want to pay this levy, it's going to affect my profit. I'm not going to get the money to pay my school fees, my kids' school fees again, and I'm not going to get the money to pay my rent. I'm not going to get money to keep the house going. So what do? I have to find a ways and means of dodging the payments. So what happens?
Come up a little. Come up a little.
So what really happens? So what
So
happens?
the fact is, hold on, no. But the government of Ghana says he needs the E-Levy to pay as free SHS.
Yeah, if you want to talk about that SHS something, my opinion about that is that, if the government is saying, I personally, I sound to be corrected. I personally, my opinion about the free SHS system is that it is too broad for the government, because you can, even we in the developed countries, don't you buy uniform for your son to wear to school? Don't you buy food for your son?
They still buy once again. Adam Seller, thanks for joining us. They still buy all the things. So the only thing the government does is not to pay tuition. It's not
But
to pay
no,
tuition. And the food.
Those in the boarding
They
house,
do.
they eat for free.
They eat for food and tuition.
For food. What about those at day? Those in the day, whatever, do they
eat government food? But you know the kind of food, curry and some coconut kind of Ghana soup. It's not any good thing to talk about.
Is it a good food? Will you give that to you? Yeah, so that makes it very big for the government. So he has to come down and say that for the tuition fee, it is free. But then anything else, your child must pay for it. Those who are day students, is the government paying for their transportation to school? They are not. They
the parents are taking care of their children.
Yeah. The government is not paying for the transportation for the day students. So it's like there can be a way to subsidize the whole thing in a way that they can say that if you want your child to be in the boarding house, then you have to pay something. So it will push it to bring the budget up, if to lift some burden of the government. But for how long? Because this project, I would say that the government should have made it a long-term project, trying it and then adding bits and bits. But you don't just come and then say free education, boom, everything is free about the education. Nobody does.
Thank you for joining us. Okay, so right now we are about to wrap up. So this let me quickly check. Let me bring you something. I'm gonna play a video. Audio.
The passage will negatively affect their sales and could render them jobless.
Do you hear it?
Yeah.
Because I don't really support it. Because if it comes, if they bring it to effectiveness, I think most of us will go out of it. Because
are you saying what you just said?
That
okay, so if you can't hear it properly, this is what I would do. These are market women that City TV had gone to interview. One said the husband is out. These people are people from Congo, Kongo. I'm sure it's in the northern region. I don't know. I'm not positive. So one said the husband doesn't stay with her, but the children are with her. So the husband stays somewhere and send money periodically, and these monies are budgeted monies, for something.
Yeah.
Okay, and then maybe 3 children's school fees or something, and then they have to pay E-Levy on that. The money is already reduced. Maybe the feeding comes, the money is reduced, and unfortunately, the money is sent periodically because the husband doesn't stay with her. And this lady who was just speaking said she thinks that it's not going to work because they don't even understand, like you said. Number one, they don't understand. Number two, they think like people don't even have the jobs. If you have given job to people and you are taxing them, you have the right to tax them. These people don't even have the jobs. And you go ahead and say, I'm going to tax them on the monies in their wallets. They understand it as the monies in their wallets, monies that they have transacted. Like those days when people put money in the banks, and now, oh Lord, sorry. And now, by the grace of God, we have Momo and the rest of them. They want to keep the money on their wallets because that is electronic. And then it's like the government getting into, that is what they are saying. It's like the government getting into their pockets and taking money out of their pockets. While the government has not given them any job to do for that money
Exactly.
in their pockets.
Mm-hmm.
You can get taxes. So in this honey, all these taxes in Ghana, is it E-Levy that is going to sustain Ghana?
No, a lot of monies are being paid or collected, and nobody is accounting for anything.
That is the people's plight. They said
Yeah.
they don't
No,
account
nobody
for
is
they
accountable
don't
for
account
anything.
for these
That's
monies.
what they think.
Yes, they don't account for this money. So if they don't account for these monies, why are you bringing up another levy? And it is not like a sales tax where it is
Mhm.
actually makes sense that you are bringing a sales tax, but it is the money in my pocket. And the United States, they don't force anybody to do anything. Like Jonas rightfully said, it's like a cash up. You don't force people to do that. Because
Mhm.
there are a lot of Nana Kwame Nsia. Oh, my man is here. There are a lot of options for people to choose from. Now I use Zelle. I use Zelle for my mortgage now. You can use Zelle for anything. There is no charge on Zelle. It's from your bank to the other person's bank. So if you want to use Cash App in the United States, it is not even also automatic that you pay charges on Cash App. No. Because if
Mhm.
you want to do the standard delivery time for Cash App, which is the 3 days, you pay nothing unless you want the money immediately. Did they make any provisions, like I said already, in Ghana, where people would be able to wait for those transaction days to lapse and they don't pay anything? No. Even
No.
if they do E-Levy and want to take the money in 7 days, they will still pay. So I beg to differ, say that it might necessarily not be the same as Cash App in the United States. There are other my Cash App, I canceled it because I don't have use for it because there is
Yeah.
Zelle. And for Zelle, I just get amount from my bank. I just hit click and then it's gone. I just sign in, I type the amount and click and it's gone. And another is Isaiah. And it got in the same day and there is no charge. So for electronic transaction in the United States, there are
Mhm.
other options where you
Yeah.
pay nothing. But are there other options where you pay nothing? Ghana, the
No.
set the bank transfers also attracts levy. If bank transfers also
Yeah.
attract levy, then it is just like you taking levy from me when I send Zelle. But when I
Yeah.
send Zelle in the United States, there is no levy on it because I am already paying the bank for keeping my money for me. And come to think of it, me putting my money in the bank, it is the bank which is using my money for their own business and their own profits and benefits.
Yeah.
However, I am the one who is paying them for keeping my money to use for their own business.
Mhm.
You get
Mhm.
what I mean? So there are
Mhm.
no other options because even for bank transfers, there is a levy on it. When the delivery man now goes to Papaya to pick your food for you
Mhm.
and pays Papaya the money that you are supposed to pay, they take the e-levy out of that. When the person who paid the delivery fee also pay the delivery man, then they take another e-levy. So within an hour, 2 e-levies have been taken from a transaction made by a man who's a delivery man.
One person.
This is what
One.
we are talking about.
One
If there
person.
can be a clear cut for them to say, for this $2,000 cities, e-levy is taken out of it once. Then
Mhm.
it makes sense because you want to also take taxes for spend taxes to the majority who also use the Momo as online transaction. You want
Mhm.
that majority to pay taxes because it seems like a little bit of people are paying taxes in Ghana. You want to extend taxes to the majority, but they didn't do their own work well. That is
The
not,
education
it's like you
was
are
not.
paying and paying and paying on the same money when each transaction is done on this single money 10 times in a day, you pay 10 times.
Mhm.
It doesn't work like that. What do
Mm.
you think? We have to wrap up. Actually, give me a final.
Yeah, what I can say I think the education about the whole thing is poor. these market women, they don't even understand.
They don't even understand.
The use of it.
They don't understand.
And then number 2 is what is the tax going to be used for what it has been intended to be used for? Would they actually use it? Are we going to see a proper use of the tax they are collecting?
They say it is going to increase the GDP from 12 to 15. Just a single figure, 3. A single figure. Ghana's GDP has
going to monitor it
so down for so long, and it is E-Levy. You are going to push your GDP up by a single digit, 3.
Who is going to monitor it? They're told from the Temamoto way. They're told they are collecting from the Temamoto way. Have they finished managing those?
Christiana, but if a country is so much in crisis as Ghana, to the extent of enacting E-Levy, why is the president paying for a rented airplane per hour?
Don't go there. Don't even go there.
No, it's part of it. You have to set your priorities right. You have to set as big as United States is, with all our money and our fame and the biggest of infrastructure and the strongest economy the world can ever have. Anna, do you know we don't have a private jet for the president? It is Air Force One. America, Air Force One. That Air Force One in Andrew Base, the army camp over there. Air Force One, is what the government used to travel. Air Force One. Can you imagine? So you claim you are developing country. How can you have a flashy? Whom are you trying to impress? And you rent this airline hourly. Why? Why?
It's a problem. It's a big one, because look, when we continue, that is why I'm saying that nobody is accounting for anything. Everybody is just doing what he or she. Anybody put at a corner somewhere to head something is doing what he or she likes, because there will be nothing. There will be no assessment or evaluation at the end of the day. So nobody knows the outcome. They bring their policy and nobody comes to give us an outcome or evaluate himself or being accountability of what they've been asked to do. What they've been asked to do. So it's like everybody is just hungry to be placed somewhere so that they will just be dipping their hands into whatever they collect. And they go scot-free. They go scot-free.
Mr. Anna, thank you. I think this is where we will end today. Viewers, thank you for coming. Thank you for staying on with us. Today, we talked about E-Levy and market women. We spoke about how market women, our grandmothers, our grandfathers, the farmers in the remote areas, Emmanuel Abeko Ephraim, thank you for joining us. We are wrapping up, so I think you can get a wrap up. At least you can get something home. Talking of E-Levy and market women, how our grandmothers, how they used to go to the market and then they stayed in this Bedford for, as Hannah said, for days, going from one farmhouse to the other, going from one market to the other. Sometimes they go to the farm, they go to the market, they sell, they buy things from the market, they now transfer to Accra. So they spend days, and they had this thing they call aboswo, where they put their monies in and they put their clothes on. And in the middle of nowhere, armed robbers seized them and they took everything. Some of these monies were just the only money these people could count on in the family. There is no money. That is, the mother is the one who goes and come, and then everybody eats. The grandchildren, the grandmother, the mother, the husband, everybody. So when something happens to this capital, which is used for the this trading, it becomes a big problem. And these farmers who are also in the farms, they are now more because of Momo. When people come to buy, and this market women, they will come to Accra and sell before they will send the money to these people after a week. So they send it to them and they pay. But now look at it. Before they will send this bulk money to the farmer in the village, it is these people trade this customer who comes to buy 120 cities. E-Levy tax on comes to buy 150. E-Levy tax on comes to buy 200. E-Levy tax on comes to buy 300. E-Levy tax on, and E-Levy tax on this money, and all of this money are also put together, and this money is sent, and E-Levy tax on that money again. And when the money reaches the farmer, E-Levy tax on it again. And when the farmer sent to the brother in the city to buy fertilizer, he levy tax on it. And when the fertilizer is coming back, and then the driver also brings it, and then somebody he levy tax on that same single money. It does not end. And somebody will say in the United States there is cash up, like we said, but the cash up, there are alternatives. You can choose to pay, or you can choose to get the transaction delivered in the standard business days, like 2 or 3 days, and you don't pay. There is nothing like that in Ghana. There are no provisions like that. The market women, when we go to the market, I follow City TV, and the market women are woefully complaining. Hannah says because they don't even understand. And I say because these people don't even understand. And I say, as country in crisis, if you are really in crisis and you have gotten to the extent of having an E-Levy pass, then you have to also check your spending. So if the country is in crisis, why is the president renting a private jet every single hour? While the United States, a whole nation which is supreme, they are using an old Air Force One. Air Force One, that is what the president uses. So we have to set our priorities also right. Perhaps if we had set our priorities right, we wouldn't have come to a GDP as low as 15%. While people don't have cocoa are having GDP of 37-40%. We cannot continue to rule and be like that as a country. Let us do the little that we can to help ourselves. And now that the E-Levy has been passed, there is nothing much we can do, but we are begging the authorities to please let these monies go to the places they are supposed to go. Do the jobs they are supposed to do, so that these people too will be happy in paying taxes for the development of the nation. Thank you so much. Emmanuel Abeku, thank you for coming. Dana Isaiah, thank you for coming. And Anna Kwame Sia, thank you for joining us. Michael Lopon, thank you for joining us. Adam Salah, thank you for joining us. Cherry D. Sinyani, thank you for joining us. Evelyn Hazel, thank you for joining us. Na Ayakaile Nano, thank you for joining us. Even Lefia Boatin, thank you for coming. Mami AC Kumsin, thank you for joining us. Kobno Poku, thank you for joining us. Na Eka and Dam, thank you. Naka and Dam, thank you for joining us. Jonas Bakpo Alote, thank you for joining us. I read your message already. Hannah Ofori, you are here. Thank you so much for Comfort Acquires. My mother came today. Thank you for coming. Kofi, thank you for watching us. We have Obapa Ochirwa. I'm sorry if I don't mention your name. Some of them are really gone up. Thank you for joining us. Pa Kobina Bafo, that is Roxanne. Thank you for joining us. Ekua Jackson, thank you for joining us. Abina Kwenedu, thank you for, and all of you who came and showed this show. Thank you for joining us. Let us be good citizens. Let us all be Oman Ba Pa Yakram.
Bye.
Bye.